Hello people, and today we're going to be talking about what it's like to run in high heels, also known as the infamous Adidas Prime X Strung. So you can see what we have here is Adidas's Supermax shoe, and it's pretty damn Supermax, with 49.5 heel stacker back and 41.5 at the front, giving it a drop of 8mm for those of you who are good at maths. It also has the energy rods, the 5 energy rods here right in between the Lightstrike Pro, which is they're quite deep, and also you've got the energy blades, which are just below the forefoot, which actually look like a plate, but on closer inspection they're actually energy blades, and they go in between the 5 energy rods. And also you've got a carbon plate in the heel for extra stiffness. Not that it really needed any extra stiffness, because this thing is pretty damn stiff. So for a UK size 9, this is quoted as 255 grams. This is actually a UK size 10, which comes in at 280 grams, which for this amount of foam really isn't too bad, because there's a lot going on here. And if you didn't know, it's actually illegal. It's over the UCI 39mm limit. So if you want to go racing a marathon in this, you'll be disqualified. So let's talk about the upper. What we have here is Adidas's painted strung upper, and you can see there it looks like it's made up of different pieces of kind of string. Obviously it's not like garden string, it's their kind of synthetic string, and you can see that the structure of it is different throughout the different parts of the shoe, parts of the upper. So for the toe there's slightly less structure, and for the heel there's a lot more structure and giving it a bit more rigidity. So this will cut down on the hot spots you have on your foot, and you're getting the structure and the rigidity and the support where you need it on the foot, which is quite amazing. It's got lots of room in the toe box. It feels very good on the foot. You've got the support where exactly you need it. Obviously you don't need it so much in the toe. You've got a little bit more across the forefoot, and obviously you've got plenty around the heel counter and where you want to lock it down. So with this design you get a great lockdown. You've got the tongue here, which is quite thin. There's a little bit of padding along the top of the tongue, and you can see it's splayed out open there. And you have the eyelets along the top of the shoe and not veering off in further down the bridge of the foot, so you don't get that kind of pressure further down the bridge, and it's quite narrow on the top here. But you get a great lockdown. You've also got this nice little cute little heel tab, which you can use as a shoehorn. Remember those things? Yeah, so it's pretty interesting and works very well. The insole on this is stuck down, so you won't be able to remove it and put in your own insole or orthotic if you want to, really. If you need orthotics, you probably shouldn't be running in this kind of shoe, because you need to be quite efficient anyway, because it's not that stable, but we'll come on to that later. So for the midsole, we have Adidas's amazing Lightstrike Pro, and we got 3 layers of this stuff here, which is very welcome because the Lightstrike Pro is pretty amazing. I was a bit of a fan of the Boost. Remember that? The Adidas Boost material, they used it left, right and center on the previous models, but it's been superseded by this Lightstrike Pro, and I have to say it is much better, and is bouncy and turns good energy, feels great, and you got 3 layers of it, which is great. And in between the layers you've got the 5 energy rods, and then just a bit further down you've got the energy blades, which actually, like I said, looks like a carbon plate, but it's not. They are 3 separate blades, which work in unison with the energy rods. All very fancy. and you've also got a carbon plate in the heel for more stiffness. It's very, very stiff and gives good return, and you've got this very aggressive rocker on the front, so you get a really good push off from the toe, but we'll get more into that in a minute. So coming on to the outsole, we've got the brilliant Continental rubber, and this stuff just is supreme. It's amazing in the dry and probably even better in the wet. You're just not going to be losing any traction with this at all, and you can be very confident that you're not going to slip and slide with this Continental rubber. It's absolutely the best stuff. Not that I'm trying to really promote Continental, but anyway, it is the best stuff I've used or had on any trainers in my collection so far, and it's just gives really confidence inspiring. Unfortunately, there's not any on the heel, but the forefoot is really where you need it, and if you're going to be forefoot striking, it's ideal. You're not going to be really wanting to heel strike on this anyway because it's not that stable, but I'll talk about that in a second. So what can you actually use this shoe for? The performance window, as I like to say, is actually quite small. Imagine that the window was quite big. You could basically use the shoe for anything. But for this, because it's quite unstable at slower speeds, you can only really use it properly for anything like tempo or threshold or longer runs that have decent speed on them. And I'd say that anything below 8-minute mile pace is too slow, because you might start landing on the heel. You can't even really walk around in these particularly comfortable because of this aggressive rocker on the front, and it goes quite side to side when you are even just walking. And like I said before at the very top of the video, it can be like walking around in high heels. Not that I've ever tried any high heels personally, but it's quite side to side, and it feels a bit weird. So even when you're warming up, you've got to be careful depending on how good your balance is and your ankle stability. Otherwise you might be rolling an ankle a little bit. But when you get up to speed, it's good and it's great, and it feels like you're running on a cloud or something, and the feedback and the kind of rebound that you get is quite sensational, and it feels amazing when you're running along at a decent lick and you're just turning over quite nicely, and afterwards your legs feel super fresh because of this lightstrike foam, and there's so much of it. It really is, for a kind of tempo shoe, it really is one of the best shoes I've ever tried, because it gives you so much rebound, and it increases or it feels like it increases your stride length and your efficiency as well. So I haven't been out running for a couple of weeks and put this on and gone out for a tempo run, and it feels amazing, and also your legs feel really fresh afterwards because there's so much cushioning here, responsive cushioning I should say, and with the stack you get plenty of support. That's probably the wrong word, but with the stack you get plenty of cushioning for the ankles and the calves, so you're probably less likely to get injured or feel stiff if you are nice and efficient, of course. The only downside is, can you justify paying so much money for a shoe that you can only really use for tempo runs, threshold and long runs? Obviously I have, and I've really enjoyed it, but if you want a shoe that's going to be an all-rounder, it's not the one for you, but it's going to be a great shoe for keeping your legs fresh. So the main drawbacks of this shoe are that you can't run slowly in it, and it's more difficult to warm up in. What you could find yourself doing is warming up in another pair of shoes and then going out at your running speed in this shoe, which is a little bit of a faff to have to change shoes. Like I said, the performance window of this shoe is quite narrow, and so you've got to justify whether it's worth the money in order to have this kind of shoe. But if you do, it's a lot of fun. So the question is it a buy it, a forget it, or wait for the discount? And I'd say in this case, it is a wait for the discount, because it's a little bit twitchy for warming up, and you know, you just can't use it for slower runs, or even for walking around in, it's that twitchy. But you know, if you get it in the right window of speed, it is an amazing, fun, quality shoe that is a great experience all round. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.